Welcome to the cross-stitch planner tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to use my yearly cross-stitch planner spreadsheet the most efficient way. This template is available in both Google Sheets and Excel, but you'll be only able to use the Excel version if you have the very latest version of Excel365. Because I have used some new Excel features in this spreadsheet that as of today haven't been released to all Excel365 users yet. So if you open the Excel version, and in the monthly sections here, you see false true statements instead of the checkboxes, then unfortunately that means that you have an older Excel version. In that case, I suggest that you use the Google Sheets version instead. The Google Sheets version has the exact same functionalities as the Excel version, and all you need to access it is to have a free Google account. Before you start using the Google Sheets version though, make sure you have enough space on your Google Drive. And now, let me give you a quick overview of this template, and then we will dive more into the details. So this is a yearly cross-stitch tracker spreadsheet that allows you to track your cross-stitching projects and number of stitches for an entire year. You can reuse this template every year. All you need to do is to start from a blank template and enter the year here in the Project Tracker tab, and all the dates in the template will automatically adjust. There are 5 tabs in this template. The main one is the Project Tracker tab. This is where you're gonna log everything about your designs you're working on, such as the project name, designer's name, total stitches, start date, estimated end date, and actual end date. Next to this table, there are 12 monthly sections where you can set up some monthly goals and track their progress, and this is where you can log the number of stitches you have done every day for each project. Each monthly section has its own theme with pictures and colors of the season. And they are also collapsible. So you can easily hide them by clicking on the minus sign here on the top of the spreadsheet. So if you want to see only the current month, you can just close all the other months and have only the current month open. The next 3 tabs where you can see little locks here are fully automated. This is why I have included this lock emoji here in the sheet's name, to remind you that you don't need to fill out anything in these tabs. Everything will be automatically calculated based on the information you enter in the Project Tracker tab. The first fully automated tab is a dynamic calendar that shows you on which projects you have worked on, started and finished each day. This calendar is quite big because it has space for up to 7 projects per day, so I suggest that you decrease the sheet size a little bit according to your computer screen. Next to the project name, you will see the number of stitches you have done and it's color-coded. So your lowest stitch counts will be highlighted with a red color, medium stitch counts with a yellowish color, and the highest number of stitches with a green color. All the projects that you have worked on will be listed here on the right side under the rainbow, and you can filter this calendar. So you can select any month from the drop-down menu. For example, if you want to see the data for only February, you can just select February from a drop-down menu and the calendar will automatically adjust. You can also select whether you want to see the calendar with a Monday or a Sunday start. The next automated tab is a timeline chart, which is basically a progress bar over time. Each project is shown as a bar that stretches across the timeline, so you could visualize when you have started a design, how long is it going to take to finish it, and when you have finished it. The bars are also color-coded, so if you have set the status of a project as in progress in the Project Tracker tab, the timeline bar will be yellow. The projects that you have put on hold will be highlighted with a red color, finished projects with a green color, and the projects that you have not yet started will be blue, assuming that you have set up an estimated start date and end date in the Project Tracker tab for these projects. Otherwise, it's just gonna be blank. The spreadsheet will add a little diamond emoji for the week when you have finished a design. So let's take, for example, this third line, the Seaside Dreams. As you can see, we have started this design on the 24th of January, so the first bar will be under the week 3 of January. And the actual finish date was the 13th of September, so the bar will be stretched out until the week of the 13th of September, and we have our little diamond emoji here because we have finished our design. You can also filter this data, so if you want to exclude the finished and abandoned projects, you can just filter by status. And you can also change the start date of the timeline. By default, it's January, but you can set a different start date here and the timeline will adjust. And you can also change the interval. The timeline chart is for 1 year, but if you want to see the data for 2 years, then all you need to do is to change this number to 14. That way, the timeline will show you every second week of the year, and that way you can visualize how your next 2 years is gonna look like. Otherwise, just leave this number on 7. The next automated tab is a yearly and monthly summary tab, where you can see on how many projects you have worked on, started and finished per month and in a year. It will calculate the number of total stitches per day, number of weekly stitches, monthly stitches, and your total number of stitches in a year. This colorful table here is a heat chart. It calculates the number of total stitches per day, and again it's color-coded, so your lowest stitching days are gonna be red, medium stitching days will be yellow, and your highest stitching days will be green. And you can also see what was your highest stitching day and highest stitching month in a year. If you want to, you can also print this tab out. Just select the entire table, press Ctrl P, and select the paper size and adjust the size of the table so it prints nicely. And now let's go back to the Project Tracker tab and I will show you how to add a new project and how to fill out the monthly sections. So first, type your project name, let's call it Morning Dreams. Then enter the designer's name, your fabric, total number of stitches required, the size if you want to, and then select the status of the project from the drop-down menu. So let's say it's in progress. Then enter the start date and the end date. If you're using the Google Sheets version, you can just double-click in this cell and the calendar will appear. So let's say we have started this project on the 2nd of December. And then enter an estimated finish date. The next 3 columns with a gray background are automatically calculated. The spreadsheet will calculate the number of days left until your due date and your progress. If you would try to modify these cells, you would get this error message because you're not supposed to modify them. In this case, just click on Cancel to return. And now let's go to the monthly sections and I will show you how to log your stitches. So I'm gonna fill out December's data because that's still empty. So the first step will be to close all the other monthly sections and have only December open. Next, I'm gonna filter the projects I would like to work on that month. I have created 2 types of filters, so you can filter either by project or by status. So let's say I want to work on 6 projects this month. And now let's start logging our stitches. I think by now you know the drill. When you add a stitch count, they're gonna be color-coded. Your lowest stitching days will be highlighted with a red color, medium days with a yellow color, and your good days with a green color. Also, as you can see, when I click on a row, the project's name is highlighted with a green color. I have added this feature so you don't accidentally log your stitch counts to the wrong project. And once we have finished the month, we can reset the filter. And of course, don't forget to change the status of a project as finished when you have finished it. And also mark the actual finish date. Finally, I have added 2 optional tabs to the spreadsheet as well. The first optional tab is an anchor to DMC conversion chart / inventory tracker that also tells you the hex code equivalent to DMC and anchor colors. Of course, it's never gonna look the same because physical colors are never gonna look the same as digital colors, so the hex code that you see here is just a guesstimate number. But I wanted to include this so on the next sheet, which is a digital graph paper, you could design your own pattern. So let me show you how this works. I have already set up some colors with the symbols on the top of this table, so you can see which symbol corresponds to which color. So for example, if I write the letter A here in my graph paper, the cell will turn black. If I put a B, then it will be red, C for orange, D for yellow, etc. And it also calculates in how many cells you have used the colors, and you will find the total number of stitches here in the right corner. You could also do fractional stitches, because each square that you see here is actually 4 merged cells. So you could simply unmerge the cells by clicking on this button here. Let me zoom in. As you can see, we have our fractional stitch here. If you want to delete the design, then select it, go to Edit, Delete, and Values. So you can play with this if you want to and design any pattern you want. And now back to the hex codes. Let's say we want to draw a heart here and we want to use DMC 347. Go back to the DMC chart and search for the hex code equivalent of DMC 347. We're gonna copy the hex code, then click anywhere in your graph paper, go to Format, Conditional Formatting, click anywhere here, click on Add Another Rule, and we're gonna paste our hex code here. And now set a symbol for your color. In this example, I will put an X here. If you want your symbol to be visible on the graph paper, you can stop here and click on Done, but I want my symbol to be invisible, so in this case, I will set the same hex code for the text color as for the fill color. OK, click on Done, and now if you put an X here in your graph paper, we have a beautiful red color. So let's draw that heart. And let's duplicate it. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope it has been helpful. If you have any question about the spreadsheet, don't hesitate to contact me on Etsy.